Hi friends, welcome to the course Hands-on Machine Learning with Python. In previous sessions, we had installed Anaconda in our machine as well as we learned about Google Collaboratory. In today's session, we will start with Python basics. So, we will do this hands-on using Google Collaboratory. For this, let's open our Gmail account again. Now, open the Google Drive. In Google Drive, as I suggested in last video, we should create a new folder. I hope you had created in last session. If not, please create it now. I had created ML notebooks. So I'll open this. In this folder, we will create a new Google Colab. And give this name as, say, Python Basics Practice. Okay. So, whatever code I'll demonstrate you today, please try it on in your machine or in Google Collaboratory. So I'll open another notebook which I had created and I'll share it with you. In case if you're stuck, you can refer this as well. Please don't directly jump on this notebook. Please try to type all the commands, all the code in new notebook. Okay, so let's start with some brief introduction about Python. So Python is a very general purpose, dynamic and interpreted programming language. As I demonstrated in last video, we were entering the values and we were doing shift enter and it was storing the values. It was executing the commands. It is an interpreted programming language. We didn't compile the code or then run. We were directly writing down the code and executing it. So it's an interpreted programming language. It also supports object-oriented programming approach as well. Python is very easy to learn and it's very powerful and versatile scripting language. Python's syntax and dynamic typing with its interpreted nature makes it ideal language for scripting and rapid application development. So we don't need to compile, test and again make change and again compile. So it's very fast and we can do a very quick development. As I mentioned, it's dynamically typed. So if you remember in our previous videos, when we were declaring the variables A, B or C, we didn't define the type of variable. In other programming languages like Java, C, we define the type of variable, whether it's integer, float or string. But Python automatically understands what variable type is. So if you remember in last video, we defined a equal to 15 and it automatically find out that it's integer. Now, if you remember in our Anaconda installation, I suggested you that pick the Anaconda version with Python 3. So Python has two versions, Python 2 and Python 3, but both are very different to each other. Some of the usual differences are like in Python 2, to print something, we need to type print space and the string. But in Python 3, to print anything, we need to type print, open braces, string and close braces like the function. Also, in Python 2, it uses function raw input to accept the user's input, and then we need to typecast it to the type of the input. Like if we are providing input integer, then we need to typecast int and pass the value. But in Python 3, we don't need to use raw input. We can directly use input function, and it automatically interprets the type of the input entered by user. So you don't need to worry about type conversion. However, we can still cast these values to other types if we want. In Python 2, the implicit string type is ASCII, but in Python 3, the implicit string type is Unicode. So there are many differences in Python 2 and Python 3. In this course, we will use Python 3. A bit about Python history. So Python laid out its foundation in late 1980s. In 2008, Python 3 was released, and it was designed to rectify fundamental flaws of the language Python 2. So let's start with hands-on directly, as we did it in last session as well. So it's our Google Colab notebook. So first we need to connect. It's allocating the virtual machine and connecting it and initializing the Colab. So now we are connected to Google Colab machine, and it says we are allocated a Python 3 Google Compute Engine with RAM 12.72 GB and 107 GB of disk space. So let's start with our first line of code. So to print anything, we use print braces, then string. So we pass a string, say hello folks, welcome to the Python world, comma 3, comma 4. So if we click shift enter, it will print hello folks, welcome to the Python world. Now if we want to pass some values as well, say comma 3, so it will print 3 as well. As we are giving it with comma, it will add a space automatically. So if you see here, hello folks, welcome to Python world, space 3. So printing is very simple. Now if we talk about standard data types in Python 3, so we have 5 major data types. Those are numbers, string, list, tuple, dictionary. In this session, we will have a brief overview of all the standard data types. So let's start with number. So number stores numeric values. So in our previous sessions also, we created couple of variables and stored values. So in this example, so let's create two variables A and B and store A 3 as in A and 5.2 in B. Press shift enter, it will execute. Now let's check what's there in A. So A contains 3. What's the type of A? As I mentioned earlier, we don't need to define any type of the variable. Python automatically understands the type. So when I enter type braces A, let's see what it returns. So it returned type of A as integer. Now if I want to add a new cell, so I'll click on this plus code and it will insert an empty cell. Now if I want to check type of B, it says float. So now the question comes in mind, how many types of numeric data Python supports? Python supports 3 types of numeric data. First is integer or int, second is float, third is complex. So yes, Python also supports complex data type like 2.14j or 2 plus 2.3j, like that. So now the question comes, what about long? Don't worry, we'll see about that as well. So we have seen the type of B as float. Now if you enter a huge value, it will automatically stores this value. And let's see what's the value here. So it has huge number. Now let's see the type. So type is int. Surprising. So it stores any big number also as int. So Python has removed long type data type in Python 3, and it only supports three numeric data types: int, float, and complex. Integer also includes long type of data. Now let's talk about string. So a string can be defined as the sequence of characters. Any character sequence. Maybe your name, say in my case Sudesh. So Sudesh is a string. In Python, we can use single quotes, double quotes, or triple quotes to define a string. In string handling, operator plus we use to concatenate two strings. If we want to add two strings, we use operator plus or addition. So in this case, hello plus Python, it will return hello Python. Please note, we have added space here. That's why the space is coming in this. In a string, operator asterisk or multiply is known as replication operator. So when you type Python multiplied by 2, it will return Python space Python. Let's try. So let's create two strings. String 1 as hello experts. Second, how are you? So we have created two strings. Let's print. So string 1 prints hello experts. Now print both. Hello experts, how are you? Now in a string, we can access the characters from its index as well. Like if I want to access second character of the string, I'll type let's check what was the second character. So the index of the string also starts with 0. So at 0th index, H was there. At first index, E was there. So at second position, as the index starts with 0, we had E. So when we access str1 in braces 1 or the first index, it prints E. Suppose we want to print first two characters of the string, then we can use the same way, but we can provide starting index and the number of characters we want to print, or the index. This way it prints the first two characters of this string. Now if I want to print from first position to third position, what I'll do, I'll change 0 to 1 and 2 to 4. So when we provide 1 here, it's the starting position. When we provide 4 here, it's the ending position plus 1. So we want E, L, L. So if we check the indexes in Hello Experts, so H is at 0th index, E is at first index. So it started with E, then L is at second index and second L is at third index. So it starts from first index to the end index minus 1. So whatever end index we give here, minus 1, up to that it will select. Suppose if I want to print up to fifth character in the string, so I need to give 6 and here I need to give 0. So first from 0th index to 5th index it will print. So what it should print? So in this string, 0th index is H, first index is E, second index is L, third index is L, fourth index is O, and fifth index is space. So it should print hello space. If I change, say 7, so E will also come now. So understand this again. Suppose it will start from the starting index to end index minus 1. Now if we want to print fourth index or the fourth character, we'll type str1 and we want to print fourth character. So fourth character is 0, 1, 2, 3. So fourth character is at third index. So we will type str1 braces 3. It will print L. Now we want to print the string twice. So what we will do? We will multiply it by 2 and it will print twice. Suppose we want to print it 4 times. What we will do? We will type 4 and it has printed 4 times. Hello experts. Now if we want to concatenate both the strings, string 1 and string 2, we will use plus sign or addition. See, so it has printed hello experts, how are you? So it has added both the strings. So this is a brief overview of string. Thank you.